Behind me on the lift is a 1983 380SL. The designation on this chassis is R107. This chassis here was built from 1972 up until 1989. That's 17 years of production. One of the nice things about working on these and restoring these is the parts are the same for all those years. And that's what you're looking at right here on this little bench. These are some of the parts you're going to have to change if you're going to own one of these, if you want to restore the original road feel of this car. The last one produced, 560SL, 1989, that's 35 years ago. You think this rubber lasts 35 years? Even if the car is low mileage. I feel badly people buy these very low mileage collector cars and they don't think they're going to need to do anything to them. But when they're this old, a lot of this rubber is going to need to be replaced. Here are the rubber parts for the front end and the rear end that most commonly wear out. I'm currently going to change out the front subframe mounts in this 380SL, but I want to show you everything you might need if you're going to own and restore an R107. I thought I'd first show you all these parts on the bench and kind of give you a basic overview, and then I'm going to take you over to the car and show you where each one of these goes. This is the set of front subframe mounts with all the hardware. And these 8 parts here are the bushings for the control arms. You have upper control arms, you have lower control arms, so you have a total of 8. This is what you'll need to replace all the inward bushings on the upper and lower control arms on an R107. This is the idler arm bushing for the steering. If you have play in your steering, this is something you definitely want to check. And then over here are the rear end parts. Now I don't have the rear subframe mounts on the bench here. Those are those large round rubber mounts that go forward on the long arms of the rear end. These are the bushings for the control arm on the rear end. Here's the center differential bushing. And here are the sway bar links, and they all wear out. So if it has been changed in your R107, you better just plan to get a couple of these. Look how tight this joint is. You can see the ones I just pulled off this 380SL. They're very loose. If these get so loose that you have movement, this one here, I got a little movement in the ball socket, they'll start clunking. So if you hear clunking in the back of your R107 when you're going over rough ground, this could be the culprit right here. But if you're working on the rear end of your R107, just plan to replace these parts right here. All right, here's where the subframe mounts reside. And if you look at the original one I just pulled out and compare that with a new one, you can see why I'm replacing these. This is the critical front end part that probably needs replacing regardless on every R107 if it hasn't been done recently, because they just collapse and then the car moves around, it doesn't steer good, and you have looseness in the front end because of these mounts right here. There's 2 of them on the front, one here and one here, and the other side has 2. So you're looking at 4 mounts that come in our kit along with all new hardware. And then right down here is the idler arm for the steering, and right in here is where these bushings reside, just like that. And when they wear out, this idler arm will wiggle and you'll have looseness in the steering wheel. Now we're going to start here with the upper control arm. You can see it's a wishbone, and on each end is this shorter bushing. So you have 2 on each side. Now these have been recently changed in this car, so I'm not going to replace them when I'm doing the subframe mounts. Then you go down to the lower control arm, and you can see right here that that's where that bushing resides. And there's also 4 of these, 2 on each side. Here's the location of that rear sway bar link, a very common part that wears out. And moving towards the front, you can see the lower control arm here for the rear end. And right here is this bushing. So there's a bushing here and a bushing on the outboard part of the arm. So you have two of these right here on each side. And here is the location of that large rubber rear subframe mount. These deteriorate, not quite as common as some of the other parts, but if you're doing the whole thing, you might as well replace these as well. Here is the location of the rear differential rubber mount. You can see that it's bolted into the center section, and this moves in this rubber frame here. So a lot of times if you see cracking and this is all collapsed, this mount here will need to be replaced. All the parts that you saw earlier on this bench are available on my website, some in kit form, where you can bundle everything and really save. But today I'm going to focus on replacing these subframe mounts in this 380SL. Now I've already got written PDF instructions that come with my subframe mount kit, so I'm not going to be filming this. But I am going to film some tips and tricks that'll help you when you're doing this job yourself. So I'll attach those to the product and you'll receive videos as well as PDF instructions with this kit. And as you saw with this 380SL, someone already replaced the upper and lower control arm bushings, but they didn't replace the subframe mounts. And I see this so often, it's like, I don't know, some of these front end shops don't consider this a front end part maybe. But you can see here the phenomenal difference, both in the top and in the amount of collapse on the bottom. So if you have an R107 or you're in the process of getting one, one of the first things you want to do is get those front wheels off and inspect these. You can tell very quickly by just looking under there if they're collapsed, and you can probably tell if they've been recently changed if this part is sticking up high above the holder. This is definitely something you can do yourself. You do not need to drop the entire subframe just to replace these 4 bushings. But you'll need a good set of jack stands, a good floor jack, if you're going to take on this job yourself. If you look closely, you can see a definite height difference in the new bushings. In closing, here's one simple tip I can share with you that can save a lot of time. When you pull the flexible brake hose loose, because you will need to do that to drop the subframe, plug it with a silicone cap like this. Plug the brake line. Don't let this run dry. If you let this all drip out on the floor, you're going to introduce air into the system. It's going to be much harder to bleed your brakes when you're all done.